A lot of people want to be working on something that they can see is actually helping to regenerate and innovatively recreate the world. This is big vision. We just need to have that vision now.
And instead of using cars, I would like to use rocket boots to go around, and they would be powered by plants.
Oh, that would be so cool. That'd be awesome.
And also I want it to go worldwide, and I want to try and invent them.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and a very warm welcome here from the Engage Television studios in Amsterdam. There's only a few people here in the studios. The rest of you is safely at home on the right side of the screen. And we're all waiting for an inspiring night, and I think that will definitely happen. There's three very good reasons to be here tonight. Firstly, Climate Cleanup is going to launch its 1500 Club. It's a big thing, and you'll hear much more about it. Secondly, there's another launch, the fantastic Waka Waka Light Up a Nation project, a very big thing too. And thirdly, tonight is the Dutch premiere of a very special documentary film, 2040, Join the Regeneration. As you might know, this whole event was scheduled earlier in last March in the fantastic film theatre Tuschinski in Amsterdam, but the corona misery came in and we had to postpone. But nature and climate change cannot wait any longer, so here we are and ready for takeoff. Let's see who joined us tonight. And we have them all here on the screen. And it's a very good thing we can actually see them. We have Marianne Kuipers. Hello, Marianne. Very good, you closed the curtains. We have Joost with a T-shirt I cannot read. We have Jeanne. She's been to the hairdressers. That's good too. And Nikki Doornbos. A lot of people are actually watching us. That's very good. And we have this Zoom room full of people. And they're actually going to join us later on. And I'm going to talk to a few of them. Firstly, it's maybe good to mention that you can communicate with us through the chat function on your video call program. So if you have any questions, please post them to us, and the really intelligent one will be passed on to me. And if you react on social media, there's Charlotte and Linda, and actually Linda is going to answer you, so do that. Give your reactions on social media. First of all, Kate Raworth, the whole concept maker of the doughnut economy, will join us from London. And then I can say, hello, London, and I'll probably get that very special Eurovision Song Contest feeling. She's not there yet. Let's start with Kirsten. She is the Dutch CEO of WWF. Kirsten, hello. How are you?
Hi. Good. You?
Yeah, I'm very good. How is WWF holding up during the crisis?
We're holding up well. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, of course, financially for some of our offices, but more than anything, we're struggling with some conservation issues. Tourism has dried up, so a lot of the parks where we're working, we're seeing increase of poaching, so It's keeping us busy.
So it's not the same problems as we all encountered, but specific nature ones as well for you.
Yeah. Very much so. So, like I said, tourism has dried up, and a lot of parks depend on tourists for income. Mm-hmm. So we can no longer pay the rangers and the communities to patrol the areas. So we are seeing poaching going up. So we're doing our very best to probably to fundraise over the next months for this.
Yeah. Well, it's good to keep that in mind, and even more special that you're here with us tonight. Thank you so much. The other screen, Willem Ferwerda, he's from Commonland. That's all about land restoration. Willem, hello, where are you calling in from?
I'm just here in the Netherlands, locked in as well.
In the Netherlands?
Near Hilversum.
Aha, you live there voluntarily?
Near the forest. Sorry?
You live there voluntarily?
Yeah, I live there voluntarily. Yeah, with my family, and they're all healthy and happy.
Good.
But, yeah, office is still closed.
How important is tonight for you?
Yeah, this is very important. As I really believe that the regeneration generation is needed now, and that's basically our work. Ecology should be on the agenda of everything.
Yeah, I'm glad you joined us tonight. Please stay with us. We're going to talk a lot more later on. Let's go to Ruud Kornstra. He's the chairman of the Climate Cleanup. He's actually here in the studios at the table. Hello, Ruud.
Hello.
What a very big thing to be chairman of.
Yeah, it's a great honor.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of launching tonight.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, when will you be really happy?
Yeah, it's a kind of expedition, and in expeditions, if you want to reach your goal, you have to make some friendship. It's about friendship and
trust, maybe.
Trust and friendship, and we have to. Yeah, everything it's welcome, and I think if lots of people join the club, then I'm very happy.
Because we need 1,500 people to help us, right?
Yeah, and maybe after that 15,000. It's all
a start.
International. It's a start.
Good.
But, yes.
You have a neighbor. It's Sven Jensen. Sven, hello. This is all your fault because you're the founder of the Climate Cleanup.
Yeah, I'm honored and I'm really super happy, especially that all the club members from the first hour and are joining us tonight, and we are seeing you on the screens all around us. So it's a bit like you are here. I'm really thankful that you're with us here tonight.
And are you nervous as well?
Super.
Why?
Because everything is at stake, literally.
Yeah. So this sort of more than enough to say. There's practically everything at stake.
We all know what's at stake.
Yeah. Let's go to finally Maurits Groen. He's the only one I know who survived the coronavirus. And he was really, really ill. But he came back more determined and more energetic than ever. Maurits, calling in from Haarlem, I presume?
Yes, from Amsterdam at the moment.
Amsterdam, you
actually.
moved.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me. How are you doing right now? Feeling really good again?
Yeah, actually, it's been some five weeks because I was one of the first people to fall ill from corona. 5 weeks that I recovered, and at the moment everything's fine. I'm more determined than ever to use this corona crisis to wake up people and to make the comparison. This is a minor crisis compared to what's waiting for us if we do not act decisively, quickly, massively right now.
Yeah. After maybe 2 minutes when we were into lockdown, already people were saying planet Earth is trying to tell us something. And I said that the planet isn't trying to tell us anything. We have to tell things to ourselves. What, in your opinion, is the relation between this pandemic and the whole climate crisis, if there is any?
Well, I think we have pushed back nature so much, we destroyed so much, that viruses can't go anywhere but jump upon us. That's in all kinds of ways. The savage animals that we eat on the markets in China, for example, they carry those viruses, and actually we do it to ourselves, I think.
And we might know you, I do, from the Waka Waka light. And the whole corona crisis came in, and now your company is making an effort to get the mouth protection into the Netherlands. How did that come about?
Well, actually, we have good connections in China. We know who is trustworthy, who will not screw you, etc., financially or qualitatively wise. So we use our contacts to make that connection.
Yeah. Long before the COVID shit, pardon my French, you started a project, Light Up a Nation. Can you tell me what the project is about?
Yeah, still today, over 1 billion people on the planet do not have access to electricity, not access to the grid. So people have to rely on very dangerous, toxic, expensive, and polluting kerosene lamps. When you use them, if you ever have used them, you know that if you're going to try study with a kerosene lamp after sunset, after a quarter of an hour, you're nauseating. And apart from the fact that it's indeed really dangerous because it can easily cause fires, etc. So we think that it is high time that finally give access to energy, to electricity, to all people inhabiting the earth, and especially the young generation, and especially in areas where they, at the moment, do not have the possibility to have good education. So we want not only to help a school or a village or even a region, we want to try and set an example with the Waka Waka Foundation to light up all 365,000 children, 1,500 schools in an entire African country, Lesotho, in South Africa, as to set an example for other organizations, companies, and other people that can help us to just do that.
And do you already know when this
has some very
country...
nice, strong supporters. I think we're going to have a compilation of a few of them that have been supporting us all along over the last couple of years to make that happen.
And
so we want to call upon all corporations, but also individuals, to help the Waka Waka Foundation to raise money. We, for only 11 euros for one child that can help light up the whole family, we can produce, ship, do the logistics, distribute and monitor the use of those lamps, and we donate them to the schools.
Now it's my turn. Do you already have a date when this whole nation will light up? And I think this is a connection problem. So Maurits is out of the air. You're back again, are you?
I think I'm back again.
Okay. Is there a date when you're going to light up the nation?
Well, we have actually started producing them. So the first 10,000 lamps have been produced already and are going to be shipped to Lesotho as soon as we can. Of course, also Lesotho is in a lockdown, so we cannot distribute them right now, but they are already produced because they could be financed thanks to ASM Bank and another couple of staunch supporters. Again, you will see them
fantastic.
in
And it's good to mention
seconds.
that there's a link with the climate cleanup as well. For everyone that becomes a member tonight or the coming days, the Waka Waka Foundation will donate a Waka to this project. So what's keeping you become a member of the climate cleanup? A lot of people already support this unbelievable project. Let's take a look.
Goedenavond allemaal. Ik ben Henk de Licht, senior marketeer bij ASM Bank. Daar werk ik inmiddels bijna 34 jaar. Als bank met een duurzame missie draagt ASM Bank Waka Waka een warm hart toe. En in de jaren 80 van de vorige eeuw riep onze bank de financiële wereld actief op tot de boycott van het apartheidsregime in Zuid-Afrika. Mooi dus dat wij nu bij ons 60-jarig bestaan het voormalige thuisland Lesotho via Waka Waka kunnen ondersteunen met het project Light Up a Nation.
As honorary consul of Lesotho, the Kingdom of Lesotho, I'm very pleased and I very much appreciate the initiative of Light Up the Nation that they choose the Kingdom of Lesotho as being the first among nations to give light to their young people, their kids at school, and being an example for all the world.
We, the Mojos, want to do good by creating sustainable lights and helping people at the same time. Therefore, we decided to support Waka Waka since 5 years. So when you buy light from us, you give light.
Als zelfstandige doneer ik jaarlijks 5% van mijn omzet aan de Waka Waka Foundation en vertel iedereen over de enorme impact en ook noodzaak van de Waka Waka Solar Light. Door Light Up a Nation kunnen straks in 1 keer 360.000 kinderen van 1500 scholen hun huiswerk op een veilige manier maken bij de Solar Light.
Stan en Wende staat voor onafhankelijk en duurzaam beleggen. Voor
nu
en voor later. En met Waka Waka willen wij kindjes in Afrika steunen, zodat ze 's avonds hun huiswerk kunnen maken.
Hallo, ik ben Wende en dit is de Waka Waka. Cheers!
Maurits, good luck with everything. I hope you have immunity now, but stay healthy anyway, okay? And maybe needless to say, but Maurits is member of the Climate Cleanup Club, so thank you for that. It is, I think, high time to talk with the founder, Sven Jensen. Sven, it's a big night. Maybe
it is.
The first good question is, what made you do it? Was there a moment that you got triggered to think, yes, I have to start a club?
The moment was when I started to meet a really special group of people. And they were entrepreneurial people, and I really started to love their kind of character. Entrepreneurial people who do a really special thing. They remove carbon dioxide from the air and the water with scalable methods, with nature.
With which are all in the book Drawdown as well.
And they are in the book.
Which is very good to know. Very good book. Yeah.
And the thing they are doing, it's just not a nice one nice thing or the other. It's actually the thing that might save our future for our children. So I thought that's interesting that those people do that. So actually, to tell you how it started, I climbed an oak tree.
So climate cleanup for me started 10 years ago, when I began to feel very uneasy about the climate crisis. So 5 years later, when our son Lovell was born, I was scared shit. And I would find myself up at night really late in bed, reading up on what was going on and all the problems. And I became depressed. And that changed actually when I found Tim Flannery's work. And later also Paul Hawken's Drawdown. Tim is this Crocodile Dundee meets Al Gore meets Indiana Jones person. So, and he wrote there's his second set of solutions that next to stopping emissions also removes carbon from the atmosphere at scale. So I wrote him and he agreed to meet. And with Joost Wouters I went to Geneva and Tim took all morning to meet with us. And he said at one point, listen, this can still be done, but the window of opportunity is closing really quickly. So back home we started Climate Cleanup Foundation and Ruud Kornstra agreed to be our chairman. And he's an entrepreneur. So we went looking for entrepreneurial people in these kind of solutions, like agroforestry in trees, rock weathering, seaweed cultivation on open sea. And these people are adventurers. They create something new and they take risk. They're the people who take a second mortgage on their house just to make their business happen. And we started to realize that together, actually, they're creating a new kind of economy. We're starting to call that a new nature economy, totally doughnut economy. And it became really inspiring to work with these people, to start creating the conditions for this new economy. And I can really think of no other thing, knowing what's going on. I can't think of no other thing to work on right now. And can you?
You really felt good in the tree, didn't you?
I liked the tree.
Yeah, maybe you should do that more often.
I think the tree liked me because he kept my weight.
Oh, yeah. Well, which is not so enormously high, is it?
I was my weight isn't. No, but the tree was.
Okay.
I'm actually 5 meters up.
Can we stop talking about weight?
Well, for now we can.
Okay.
In the end, your ultimate goal with the whole club is to double nature. You have to explain to me that concept.
Yeah, we'll talk about weight, because what needs to be done is we need to stop emissions and we need to take out carbon dioxide. A great weight, 1,500 gigatons, is what we need to take out.
So you're an enormous lot.
Yeah, that's really unimaginable. So, but if you imagine like all the plants and trees on Earth, that's about 1,500 gigaton. So to take that out, we need to double nature.
How do we do that?
Well, this is why we're launching the club, the 1,500 Club, from the foundation, Climate Cleanup Foundation. We're actually doing 3 things. We imagine. So we imagine the world we want. This is what tonight's evening is about and what about 2040, the movie, is about. Can we really see it? The second is we pioneer. We do pilots on the scalable methods with seaweed and sand, rock weathering, and regenerative agroforestry. Let's say food and trees,
food and nature together,
land and nature,
right,
and people, everything together. And the third, we create the fundamental conditions for for this economy. Actually creating this new nature economy, but also supporting this group of extraordinary people who both have the courage to envision something that's not there, and also take the risk to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And there are many of them, and in the club we can combine them and scale up and be more visible and actually reach our goals, right?
They are there, and as soon as you start working together, you feel the energy of these kind of people, and then it starts to multiply.
Shall we meet some of these entrepreneurial people? They're there, and we have a little video on them.
I'm Femke Slegers, I'm with Fossil Free Advertisements, and we are campaigning for a law that makes advertisements by Shell and Exxon follow the same path as ads by Lucky Strike and Marlboro, to non-existence, to save our existence. That's also the reason I'm supporting climate cleanup. Sven and his team are embracing nature to clean up our mess. For climate cleanup to succeed, it is important that we prevent fossil fuel advertisements to mislead us to add even more to the mess. Go climate cleanup!
I'm Joris, founder of Tremendo. Tremendo and Climate Cleanup share the belief that we need to massively scale natural climate solutions. Our vision for 2040 is that we empower 1 billion people to plant and take care of 100 billion trees. Let's plant it together.
My name is Reinhard Augustijn. I'm father of 3 young adults and I'm working for the province of Gelderland as a civil servant. We are trying to intensify our climate actions and bridging the gap between civil society and the government. I'm also a member of Climate Cleanup because I'm convinced that only reducing the emission of greenhouse gases is not enough.
Hallo, ik ben Arjan. Ik geloof dat kinderen zorgen voor de grootste verandering in ons leven. Als grondlegger van Junior Energiecoach laat ik kinderen en ouders ontdekken dat het niet ingewikkeld en duur hoeft te zijn om thuis energie te besparen. In My 2040, we face our challenges with a smile.
Hello everybody, I'm Arno Drent. I'm a program manager sustainability at European consultancy company Tau. As a young kid, my grandfather took me into the fields and brought me into contact with nature. Now I decided to become a member of the Climate Cleanup Club. This is for me very important, so then we can work together on bringing back balance in nature and society.
A couple of years ago, I sold my companies to become a documentary maker. I wanted to tell my own stories with a positive impact on large crowds. And to have a positive impact on even a larger number of people, I started my own television show last year, and the television series is called Green Makeover. With this series, I aim to inspire climate fools like me, who are still learning to live in a more, let's say, natural way. I want to inspire them with very simple, practical solutions in the homes or in the gardens, so they can live an even more natural life as well. I joined the Climate Cleanup because over there are a lot of people who are really acting, who are really doing something to, let's say, to work on the green makeover of this planet. And I experienced that a lot of game-changing initiatives came from nature itself. So that's for me very inspiring, and I hope to even pass it through to the crowd I have on the television. Whoa, this really scared me. And my wish, therefore, for 2040 will be that climate fools like me will not experience these kinds of things anymore, because our homes are already in perfect shape and our gardens also in a perfect shape to have a perfect world also for our future generations, and we can put off our working clothes and relax.
Green makeover, green makeover.
Yeah, perfection. It's quite a bunch of people, Ruud.
Yeah, great.
And you're the chairman of all of them.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
They're great people. People in Gelderland, in Amsterdam, on television.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
It's great.
Mm.
Yeah.
But now, there's a major economic recession heading towards us. And the sarcastic people say all these sustainability talks will set us back a few years. And the positive ones will say it will help us to speed things up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Let's start with one very old one-liner. It's never waste a good crisis. And
yeah.
That was Mr. Churchill, I think.
Probably.
But it's always Churchill or Einstein. But this was Churchill just after the Second World War, just before we start the United Nations. So never waste a good crisis. So I think it's very important. It's a wake-up call. I think that's true, and it's all stopped. and we can see that we can change everything. So if you can dream it, you can make it. So an entrepreneur is a dreamer. So we need to share the dreams of the entrepreneurs. That's the first. An entrepreneur is accountable. So he's accountable. It's not about, how you call it, pim pam petten. It's the real business.
What is pim pam petten in English?
I don't know. I don't know.
Silly game.
Yeah, I think that's the international word, pim pam petten.
Yeah, probably.
It's not a game. I think we will win the game, but it's not a game. So that's the important thing. And then how can we help the entrepreneur? I think I was thinking and I was listening, and it's all in English. So if you take the English dictionary, and you start with the word, because Willem was with renovate or restore, regenerate, yeah. Redesign. It's all about re. There are 400 words with re. Take one of the words and start with the word.
Recession.
Yeah, recession. It's great. I think, retires, that's not a good one. But all the other re-words, you can, so share the dream, entrepreneurs are accountable, and help them.
In the film, 2040 is being used as the date where we want to end up. Is that for the whole climate cleanup a good date too? Or do we need more time?
No, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a dreamer. So I think the title, for me, the title can be 2030.
Even sooner.
Even sooner, yes. I think because the Sustainable Development Goals, it's about a dream. It's the Sustainable Development Goals. It's about a dream. It's about a contract, a United Nations contract with 200 countries. And if we get there in 10 years, we have the paradise on earth. Yeah. So let's go for the paradise. And all the entrepreneurs are doing their thing, and there will come other entrepreneurs and countries, and because it's a real business, it's fun. It's not about all the terrible things. There are terrible things, but it's fun to do, and it's with a smile.
And the good thing is, changing together is fun too.
Of course,
if you have to change alone, it's scary. If you do it together, it's fun.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we change seats? Or?
No, because I like your jacket, so stay there.
Yeah, it won't fit you.
No, I know.
But thank you for your answer. We're going to talk later on in a panel discussion. For all the viewers that just got here because the children were still gaming on the computer or you didn't know how to work the video conference, welcome to you too. We're starting 3 things here tonight. We have the Dutch premiere of the documentary film 2040, which you can see later on. We launched the 1500 Club of Climate Cleanup, and we have the Waka Waka Light Up a Nation special launch. So don't want to miss it. How's everybody doing at home? Can you just wave? Yes, they're actually watching. It's so fun because they can't be here in the studios, but they're all waving at home. Some people wave better than others, but that doesn't matter. Climate Cleanup is focusing on entrepreneurs that really want to make a change. Let's introduce a few of them. First of all, there's the home insulation of Tom Zon, which is Tom Sun in English, but this is the Netherlands, so it's Tom Son.
My name is Tom Willemsen. 40 years ago, the world was also hit by several crises. I felt we needed more than NGOs to get a sustainable world. We needed businesses that work towards a better world as well. This is why I started Tonson. That is why I support climate cleanup and other initiatives that work on changing the world for the better. There is a lot to be done before it's 2040.
Het is natuurlijk heel belangrijk dat wij onze woningen goed isoleren, want de warmte die we erin brengen, die verdwijnt naar buiten. Je moet zorgen dat die vloer eigenlijk geen warmte meer verliest naar beneden.
Er gaat heel veel energie verloren, doordat het huis dus koud blijft, door deze vochtige ruimte hieronder.
Ja, men heeft vroeger gedacht dat het warmte omhoog ging en dan hoeven die vloeren dus niet. Dus het is hetzelfde een beetje als dat een moeder een kind in de winter naar buiten stuurt met een dikke jas aan en een muts op en handschoenen en een sjaal, maar op sandalen. We hebben de thermosfles flexibel gemaakt, opvouwbaar. En daardoor is het, dus ik heb nu eigenlijk niks, maar als ik dit uitvouw, En ik ga het vullen met lucht. Ik maak die koppen dicht. Dan gaat er geen warmte meer door. We hebben heel weinig energie nodig om het te produceren. En die energie die we daarvoor nodig hebben, die halen we met 140 zonnepanelen die boven op het dak staan. En ervoor zorgen dat wij alle stroom die we nodig hebben van de zon halen. Dus we hebben heel weinig grondstof nodig. Het kost heel weinig energie om het te maken, om het te transporteren. Omdat we geen vrachtwagens nodig hebben. Het is heel gemakkelijk. Ook bij de montage is maar weinig energie nodig. De enige energie die we eigenlijk nodig hebben, zijn de ploegjes om het aan te brengen.
De isolatiefiets is een duurzame en economisch optimale manier om te werken als zelfstandige, als timmerman, als isolateur, loodgieter, bloemenbezorger, broodbezorger, het maakt allemaal niet uit. En ik isoleer ermee met tonzon, omdat het isolatiemateriaal licht en opvouwbaar is. En dat kan ik hier erg goed op meenemen.
Yeah, always good to realize saving energy. Arjen of Junior Energy Coach said it earlier already. Is one of the easiest solutions and will save you money too. Let's go to my own province, the province of Gelderland, the best province of the Netherlands. There are frontrunners in the province on climate solutions, embracing the book Drawdown as well. And they want to scale up. And this is a good thing to do. With a challenge for all the Gelderlanders, the people who live there. Let's take a look how they do that.
De film 2040 toont een aantal initiatieven op het gebied van duurzaamheid en schetst een toekomstbeeld in 2040 als we massaal die toepassingen allemaal gaan realiseren. Onze trainees van de provincie Gelderland hebben een aantal challenges bedacht. En dit is de eerste waarmee je nu al aan de slag kunt. Om bij te dragen aan zo'n mooie, groene, duurzame wereld in 2040.
Jogging, oftewel joggen of wandelen en tegelijkertijd afval rapen. Krijg jij de examenkaart vol?
Doe mee aan deze sportieve challenge. Maak een foto van je opbrengst en post deze met de hashtag Mijn2040Challenge.
Na een week maken wij de winnaar van deze opdracht bekend en kondigen wij de tweede aan.
Wil jij, net als ik, een steentje bijdragen aan een groenere wereld en kans maken op leuke prijzen? Doe dan mee aan hashtag Mijn2040Challenge.
And the good thing is, the challenge is actually starting right now. And I hope all the other provinces in the Netherlands join in. What's happening in my studio?
Hi, Harm.
The climate fool is here.
Yes, my wheelchair and me.
Where?
Oh, not my wheelchair, my wheelbarrow and me.
Go away.
No.
Keep your distance. Oh, you're going on that side. That's good too.
Because how do you like my wheelchair?
What is it?
You know, I'm a no-nonsense person. I really like practical solutions.
So you brought a wheelbarrow full of sand to bury the climate
Not
crisis.
just sand, Harm.
No.
No, these stones, they can eat CO2.
This is olivine grinded.
Yes, you knew
Aha.
it. You knew it.
Oh, I never saw it like this.
And there's a lot of it in the world. We can just, us humans, we can spread it out over the seas. Not over the seas, over the land.
Yeah.
And it will eat our CO2.
It will suck the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
It's a gift from Mother Nature. We
Wow.
should use it. Talking about gifts, Harm, in this wheelchair, in this wheelbarrow, I mean, there are gifts. Because
You want to
can...
sit in it, don't you?
No, I want
Okay.
you to
No,
grab
no.
it with
Oh,
your
yeah?
hand in the sand.
And what can I find?
For the viewers, you can make a viewer very happy. Because one viewer can win tonight a free viewing of the movie 2014. And that is not nothing.
No.
So please go in.
Yes.
Yes. Go in
Wait.
and pick a name.
And how deep is it?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. Not in the sand. In
Thank you. Well, this is a shell from the fossil company. Let's not go there.
No, don't go there. No, that's a
Wrong one. No.
That's not a shelf, huh?
You made it
no.
difficult. Oh, I got one.
Yes.
Great.
Who is it?
Who is
Who is it?
Ra-ta-ta-ta. Oh, but she didn't say why, but it's Hilda Veenstra. Hilda.
Oh, Hilda will love it.
You know her?
Love it. Hilda,
Hilda Veenstra. Congratulations.
Thank you, Harm.
Thank
Sorry
you very
for
much.
this interruption and your hand.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So,
It's fucked up. It's
let's go to the ladies of the questions. And I'm hoping they're...
Zien we er daar?
Is Hilda in the house?
Hilda Veenstra?
Hilda's there. She's smiling. Yes. Oh, fantastic. Wow, she didn't show up for nothing. Good. Any questions from the viewers? Charlotte.
Actually, yes, we have a few questions. I'm just going to go with the one that I see first now. Manu Buschoots is asking, what are the fundamental conditions as talked about as one of the 3 pillars of climate cleanup?
That's a really interesting question. Well, we'll go into that later in the panel discussion. But one of the most fundamental conditions is simply the calculations, just accounting, doing the numbers, and how do we do it? And there's a lot of misunderstanding.
And maybe say it again, the olivine. Because I heard that in the United States or somewhere, there's the first big olivine order has been put out. So big companies are going to use it now.
So there is.
Good news. More questions?
Actually, yes. Marijn van Asseldonk is asking, aren't there any drawbacks or byproducts or effects on the ecological surroundings when talking about olivine?
Aha. You have to get the olivine. Does anybody know? How do we get it, and is that bad for the environment?
Are there? I think we have one of the olivine experts in the program later on. Don't think we can answer that question really here. For us, as a climate cleanup club, the basis is always everything we do has to fit within the donut.
Yeah.
So that means
if we use it, it has to fit in.
It has to fit in,
Yeah.
so it doesn't do harm to people, doesn't do harm to the planet.
And doesn't do harm to harm. More questions? But they don't know. So.
I think a good one, well, first of all, Sven, could you talk a little bit closer to your microphone? Very important. That's something we're getting from the public. Another question, what hashtag do we use on social media?
Aha, that's a good one. Does anybody know?
For Linda.
Linda.
Yeah, well, we can use the hashtag double nature.
Hashtag double nature, because that's what we're going to do. Good. So far for the questions right now. Another fascinating entrepreneur that is joining in is Interface. Last year I came across carbon dioxide eating wall paint. Stuff like that exists, like olivine. And at Interface they're making carpeting, and they want to become one of the world's first climate positive companies. I'm very curious how they do that.
Hello, my name is Janneke Leenaars, Regional Sustainability Manager at Interface. I'm working on Climate Takeback, our mission to reverse global warming. I support climate cleanup as after our Mission Zero success, we are now becoming regenerative. My vision for 2040 is respecting nature and learning from nature. Let us love carbon and use it as a building block. In 2040, Interface has launched, years back, carbon-negative flooring solutions. In 2040, our production locations function fully as natural ecosystems, with factories as a forest, providing eco-services such as carbon sequestration. In 2040, Interface is a carbon-negative company, creating a climate fit for life.
Wow, that's spectacular. Let's see if Kate Raworth is already there. Kate, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh, there you are. Aha. Kate, good evening. I'm so glad to have you here tonight because you came up with the whole donut economy concept that is being used in the documentary later on as well. Did you ever got in your head that while thinking of something so big that a documentary might spring from it?
Well, if I thought of that, I probably wouldn't have called it the donut, would I?
No.
I would have given it a much more serious and grown-up name. No, I didn't think that.
Because the only healthy thing about a donut is the hole in the end.
Well, I can give you the only donut that's good for us.
Aha.
And actually, to be honest, the thing about calling it the donut, even though some people say, well, that's a ridiculous name, we're talking about the future of the planet. But you know what? Most people are afraid of economics. Most people lean back when you say you're talking about rewriting economics. But if you put donut and economics together, then nobody's afraid because people aren't scared of donuts. You might love them or hate them, but you're not scared of them. And so it actually means people lean in and they start smiling, and they already know it gives them permission to play. So people get very, very playful. And that to me is the first condition for us to feel free to transform things.
Yeah, it's very smart of you. The part of the Netherlands where I come from, they call it the doughnut. So, and it actually means do something. So this is good too in the Netherlands. Now, we know what we want. We can see it in the future. But how do we get there? Can you help us a little bit? We're going to talk about it later on more deeply with you. But how do we get started?
How do we get started? We just have to decide that we want to do things differently. It's quite simple. We just have to choose, use our heads, decide that the past is not the place we want to be, decide that we can create a different future, realize that we have not got to carry on using the economic theories that we inherited. They were divided in a different century. Economic theoreticians and economic policymakers of last century, they didn't see our challenges. I mean, Adam Smith and Karl Marx and John Maynard Keynes, if they saw us today and realized that we were still trying to use their ideas from centuries before, I think they'd think we were crazy.
Yeah.
They say, do you have no ideas of your own? Come on, wake up, 21st century. Reinvent the future because you face a different reality from us. So that's how we get started. We just decide to do it.
It's as simple as that. Kate, stay with us because we have a very big question for you at the end of the show. So thank you so much for sharing this much with us. And let's see another participant in the climate cleanup, and this is Agro Forestry and the Ikea Foundation.
Our climate is changing. We have to take urgent global action now to avoid the irreversible climate impacts from happening. The current food and agriculture system puts a huge strain on the environment. Smallholder farmers across the globe are trapped in a vicious cycle. They face the increasing pressure to produce more while lacking access to the resources they need. They suffer from the effects of climate change, yet they lack the tools and techniques to cope with the risks this presents. The negative impacts of climate change are already being felt. With changing cycles and more frequent extreme weather events affecting crops and livestock alike, smallholder farmers struggle to make a living, let alone a profit, from their hard work. Our ability to grow food from existing natural resources without destroying those resources is the key to sustainably feeding the world. So, what if? What if, rather than clearing more and more land for farming, we regenerate exhausted soils so that they become productive again? What if we use agricultural waste to make valuable products, like organic fertilizer, and make a business out of it? What if farmers could heal the planet as they feed the world? What if we could produce our own heat and electricity and make it sustainable, self-reliant, and profitable too? What if the private sector takes action to innovate low-carbon methods to source, manufacture, and transport their products, as we are doing through coalitions with our partners? What if we invest in local circular systems, regenerative and fair systems, so that farming and agro-entrepreneurship become an opportunity for a better life? By working together and daring to be different, we can make it happen. What if we could use this success to inspire change for farming communities across the globe and together shape a brighter future?
Hello everybody, my name is Felipe. I'm the founder of reNature. I'm from Brazil, and our goal is to regenerate 1 million hectares by 2030 using regenerative agroforestry systems. And we are partners of the climate cleanup to make sure that we can sequester and stock all the carbon that is emitted into the soil. So join us in the Joint for the Regeneration movie, and our vision by 2040 is to make sure that we can all mitigate climate change together through regenerative agriculture practices. So let's do this.
Wow. I still have that what if big smile on my face. I hope it doesn't broaden even more because it won't fit on my face anymore. Good, huh? Makes you happy, Sven?
Yeah, these are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, shall we do another one? Climate cleanup pioneers on business cases around natural climate solutions, for example, the Seaweed company.
Hi, my name is Joost Wouters and I'm one of the co-founders of the Seaweed company. I support the climate cleanup because I believe it is time that we create stories, new stories about how we can live and work on this planet with nature. And my vision for 2040 is a world where there is room to breathe, to work, to play, to live, and where all organisms, including humans, animals, forests, oceans and mountains, are prospering.
Onze Noordzee is een bijzondere zee. Ze is ondiep en voedselrijk en vormt een schakel tussen de grote rivieren en de Atlantische Oceaan.
Nou, de groeiend aantal windparken in de Noordzee biedt een unieke mogelijkheid om meerdere activiteiten daar te gaan ontplooien. De zeewierteelt tussen de windturbines met oesterkooien daaronder en riftblokken voor de verankering waar ook schelp- en schaaldieren kunnen groeien.
Zeewier is de snelst groeiende biomassa op deze planeet. Dat betekent dat zeewier neemt heel veel CO2 op en heel snel. Nou, dat betekent dat alle toepassingen van zeewier, laten we zeggen worst case, CO2-neutraal zijn.
Ja, dat levert natuurlijk ook een enorme bron op van duurzaam gekweekte grondstoffen.
To end with, maybe a tiny peek into the future. Sven told me about it last year, and it was for me almost too big to grasp. Inspired by the Australian scientist and climate activist Tim Flannery, please watch the Sargassum Seaweed Research Project.
I'll be glad to get to the coast to breathe some fresh air and to see some seaweed. I think our climate's future might depend on growing it big scale.
Seaweed can store carbon at a bigger scale and more permanently than any plant you can see out there.
So we're on the land at the moment, but the ocean is very, very deep. Any carbon that plants capture in this area here just keeps on interchanging
With the atmosphere over time,
trees grow and then they die and they rot.
the carbon stays in the system.
But if you could somehow grow seaweed out here and then either use the seaweed for something and toss the carbon into the deep, or just put the seaweed itself into the deep ocean, once it gets down below about 1 kilometre,
That carbon isn't coming back. That's stored not quite as permanently as geological carbon like coal and so forth,
but as far as we're concerned with the climate crisis, it is out of the system.
It's exactly these words from Tim Flannery which inspired us to look into this idea. How can we create a carbon sink using seaweed as a natural solution to climate change? Hi, I'm Peter Lindeman. I'm working with Climate Cleanup on a project which takes Sargassum seaweed and turns it into a huge carbon sink. Sargassum seaweed is already taking care of over 7% of the total ocean's carbon pump capacity. However, since 2011, Sargassum seaweed is causing big problems. It's blooming because of many climate change related factors. It washes ashore on beaches in gigantic quantities. It smothers mangrove forests and coral reefs. Can we take this problem and turn it into a solution? Together with scientists from Portsmouth University, Wageningen University, from Bonaire, and with the support of World Wildlife Fund and a grant from the Dutch government, we're doing the research. We're actually studying into the best way how to take the Sargassum seaweed out of the sea and turn it into a carbon sink. I'm very proud tonight to present to you our Sargassum Seaweed project and look forward to working with you towards 2040 and making this plan into a reality. Thank you.
Wow, Sven, if you have to remove 1,500 gigatons of carbon dioxide, this is stuff you need.
Yeah, it is really like a dream come true. Really,
Yeah.
start working on this up to proof of concept. Let the market take it over once it's feasible as a business case. And
even the government chips in.
Well, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Government is us.
Because normally they say, oh, well, it's an experiment, you do it yourself. But they're helping.
Harm.
Oh, God.
Here I am again.
The climate fool is back, yeah.
Yes, but you're doing such a good job. You have to eat in time. So I brought you something, because you have to eat in
Pearls.
the right, healthy way. No.
No, not the pearls.
This one is even more worthy than...
Is it edible?
It's eatable, yeah.
Is no arsenicum in there?
No, it's you're very right. This is seaweed and not
When
a
did you
gift
get
from
it? Last
nature.
year? Oh, my God, it's rubber. But normally you can eat it. Why did you bring it?
I brought it for you, especially. And
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And there were a lot of chats coming in of people, viewers, who said, I want a screening too. I want a viewing too. So I thought, okay, let's
do it again.
And do it again.
Okay.
So please go ahead.
I'll go underneath the pearls. Oh, there are several ones. Only one?
Only one. Only one.
It's a bit fishy, but...
But don't you like it? It has a bite. I like it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's Wietse slop. Wietse! And you know what, Wietse?
Yes.
You're not only getting a viewing, but you're going to get the seaweed as well. Thank you very much, God.
You're doing
More questions from the chat, ladies?
Oh, yes, we have a lot of questions. Ulche is asking, why are all these great available climate solutions not yet implemented large scale all over the world?
Aha. Why is it taking so long to get there, Ruud?
Yeah, what's so long? I think 30 years ago we were all there, so we can do it right now.
So we have to build up the urgency to get started, probably.
Yeah, and also the urgency. I think that's, if you are a normal thinking human being, you think it's over now. We have to change.
Yeah.
And we can change to a better world. So there is no loser in the whole system. No, not nature, not human. Maybe some companies.
Only me right now, because I'm full of seaweed still. But
yeah, and you have something with your hand. It's we have
my cocaine habit.
You call it a witvoetje.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you already.
But I see your point.
Yes, it's there. So let's start now, and maybe tomorrow, but not the day after tomorrow. We have to do it right now, and it's possible. We can. It's doable.
More questions?
Yes, definitely. Sophie is asking, how can we organize collaboration between the club members to accelerate the positive impact we can have when working together?
Aha, so there's 1,500, later on 15,000. How can we connect them and scale up, Sven?
That's an excellent question. Well, actually, Linda, we have been talking a lot and trying things out. Every Wednesday we have club meetings. We call them Double Nature Talks, with great people like Felipe and Joost and Eric Matzner, who will join later, sharing their stories, but also for the club members to meet. That's one.
Yeah.
We can simply meet. What's more?
Yeah, so everyone's welcome next Wednesday as well. Send me an email.
And in the end, on the platform, you can actually see who's in the club and
Yeah.
what they can actually offer you, what you can give them, and work together towards where we want to end up.
Yeah.
Probably. So we'll strengthen each other.
If I can add something, the difficulty is that we have to work in a distributed way. So we're not going to centralize it all to us or to whomever. So that's difficult, and I think that's what Kate is also struggling with, how to spread what we are doing, and also the communication and the working together. It can't be all in Amsterdam, for example, because we are Amsterdam-based. But so
this is where the corona crisis helps us,
Yeah.
because we all Zoom and team up, and we now in one world connecting.
Yeah, and let me add on. Entrepreneurs are not waiting for opinions or theories. They want to. They need help. So if you think I can help Joost or the people in Gelderland or somewhere, I can help. Give them a call. So, and start helping, and not talking, helping, and not. I have a story, and I have an opinion. I think you don't do. If you don't like the idea, forget it. But if you have, then don't disturb the entrepreneur.
No.
And an entrepreneur is not only someone in a company, but it's also the mother at home or the father at home, the teacher they're all entrepreneurs. So it's
people sharing our dream of a better world.
Yes,
and
make
how to get there.
it happen
Yeah.
together.
Good.
And help them.
We actually sort of started the panel discussion already, which we want to do before we start watching the film. Are you still there? Kate is here, right? Kirsten is still here with us, and Willem is here. Right, let's try to come to a few conclusions after the last 15 minutes or so. And everybody in the Zoom room, at the end, we have a room for 2 or 3 questions at the end. Kirsten, can I start with you? I was wondering, as being director of WWF Netherlands, we heard Sven mentioning it before. What's the role of people in doubling nature?
Thank you. We have a little film to start. I don't know if you guys can show it.
Yeah, we can. If you want the video first, let's watch the video. Yeah.
Let's watch the video first.
Quite a strong resemblance between people and nature, right?
Yeah, I mean, this small clip really summarizes for us the relationship between people and nature as we see it, and it symbolizes the role that people play in doubling nature along 3 lines. So there's a couple of things. Number one, people and nature are part of the same single system. So people are dependent on nature, and nature, as we see more and more, depends on people, and people impact nature. And nature impacts people, as we're seeing with the coronavirus situation, I think, nowadays. The second thing that I would like to highlight in the relationship between people and nature is that conservation, such as doubling nature, can only be sustainable if we work with people. So here in the Netherlands, we work with farmers. Outside the Netherlands, we work with local communities. And only if people own conservation will it work. And the third and last thing I wanted to highlight is that if all this is our conviction, everybody can play a part in conservation and in being one with nature. And we need to inspire everybody to take action, which I think is exactly what climate cleanup is doing beautifully, whether it's eating less meat or planting trees or cleaning up plastic in your backyard. Everybody can make a difference. And only then can we really bend the curve of biodiversity loss.
Yeah. So it's very important to realize it's not people against nature, but it's people with nature becoming one better planet.
Exactly.
Wow, thank you so much for bringing that up. Sven, this might be a good point for your climate cleanup opening statement. Go ahead.
The power of nature has long been underestimated. Double nature is a strategy to reverse climate change and restore ecosystems, as well as create a healthy economy with meaningful work for all. To really reverse climate change, 1,500 gigaton of carbon dioxide has to be removed and stored away, and nature offers by far the best way to do that. All existing plant life on Earth already contains about 1,500 gigatons. So to store another 1,500 gigaton, we need to double nature.
Wow, well said. Yeah, slight applause is in place, but it's so huge to double nature. Shall we go to Willem Ferwerda? Because you're with Commonland already doing that. Can you comment on the matter? What will the planet look like in doubling nature? In the end, we have doubled it, but how does it look? You have to unmute yourself, probably. Otherwise, we'll never double it. Ah, yeah, there you are.
Yeah, here I am. Yeah, it looks beautiful in 2040 if we are doing the right things. And that is actually the critical issue here. So we need to protect, as Kirsten said, that's number one, protect, conserve everything what we can protect and conserve. Second thing is we need to restore. We need to restore it with ecosystem science. Otherwise, we get in 2040 one big plantation and a monoculture. And that is not what we are aiming for. We want to have a diverse system. So diversity is here the critical issue. And that means actually that we need to move away from the current business model of maximization of financial returns per hectare. We need to connect economics to hectares, to the land or to the sea. And that's why, our experience is that we use now is a business model where we first have a return of inspiration because we need to move people to do the right thing at a landscape level. The second thing is we need to help people to create jobs in all those places on the countryside where they have been moved away because of monocultures or degradation or desertification, etc., deforestation. The third thing is that we need to really restore biodiversity. And that means we need to make sure that we understand the ecological foundation of systems. And quite often business, investors, and also a lot of farmers and the agro-tech industry don't understand what that means, including the forestry industry. I mean, we have a lot of plantations, and that's not what we want to have in 2040. We will have plantations, but we want to have diverse forestry systems, including plantations.
And how do we do that, Willem? Because you already have some experience in changing those systems. Yeah. How do we get those mono plantations towards more biodiverse, people-integrated things?
Now, the first thing is you need to understand how systems work, how ecosystems work. And we can produce much more food and fibers with diverse systems, with diversity in plantations. So co-create in a way, a new type of forest if they have disappeared, and protect the existing and old growth forests that are still there, because they are the gene banks of the world. Yeah. Our experiences, for instance, in Spain, where we tried to restore an area of 1 million hectares, which is 1/4 of the Netherlands, is that we were able to, through inspiration, to create a vision quest with all the landowners and the farmers in what that landscape should look like within 20 years, is to open up a new way of thinking. And then we brought in the business thinking and the science to create new regenerative agroforestry companies. Yeah. And those companies are now attracting investors, bring back carbon into the soil, and not only produce almonds, but also almonds, olives, pistachios within what we call a mixed polyculture system instead of a monoculture system. And these kind of things are just basically, first of all, you need to understand how that works, and then you can do it. And what helps is that at a certain moment, the risk will go down and the profit will go up, as long as the longer the system works, the longer the time frame takes to work with nature.
Yeah, so you have to have a long-term, many years scope before you can get there.
Yeah, so what we do is we have a more than 20 years approach, and we have a zoning approach at the land. So those 4 returns are delivered by a 3-zone approach within a landscape setting. Right. And then you will see that it really works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ruud is dying to react.
Yeah, it's because it's a new economic system. It's if you see the system nature of the nature system, you have to put the new economic system. So if you can make the combination, then you make the nature on balance. It's on the balance. It's because now nature is off balance. Our dikes are off balance. It's all off balance, and we have to bring it back in balance. So on a new economic way, we have to. Yeah, it's nature. We are nature.
Willem?
Now, what helped a lot was, of course, the doughnut economics of Kate, because the theory of what Kate described, we tried to put that in practice with a different language system and a technical system, an ecosystem science behind it, to make it work at the landscape level. And time is critical, as well as language. but also, let's say, to make sure that you have the right investors and farmers behind you to make sure that you can make that transformation. Without doing that, without having some investors, philanthropic money, and farmers behind you who believe in it, you can't make it happen. And now we are, after 7 years, we've seen it is possible, and we've seen that we are actually overwhelmed by a lot of investors and philanthropists and farmers especially who want to do the same thing.
And in your opinion, Willem, because we have to double nature, which is quite a thing. Are people watching you? A few people chip in now, but the rest of the world, are they connected? Can you reach them?
Yeah. Now, let's say our strategy was the first 7 years to do it in the field and not to communicate it, but just to make sure it really works with farmers and conservationists at the field level. Because, we can talk a lot, but we should do it first and make sure that we build a track record. After 7 years now, we can say this methodology is working. Our first company in Australia is now listed in the Australian Stock Exchange since 2018. And who are the shareholders? Farmers who were before, you could say, Monsanto farmers. And now they want to move to regenerative farmers. They are the shareholders.
That's a very good distinction, I say. Monsanto farmers and future farmers. Let's call them that way from now on. That's good. Thank you for your very good contribution. You make me very happy. Ruud, can I pose you a question? Because we were talking about the entrepreneurs earlier on, and the ones that already started, how can you keep them on the track, and how can you make them giving the right path to do the right changes? Because the way is rather long. It's 20 years.
Yeah, but the business model, if you can share it with your children and they understand, then it's a nature business model. But you need a start engine. There's always you need some crazy people who believes in it and they go for the dream. And then at that time it's not a profitable business. It is not profitable at that time. But after 7 years now, or two or three. It depends on the project. 7 years is a long time. It's almost 2 periods of political scope. So how do you get people to get such a stern vision to last it for 7 years? But after the 7 or 4 or 2 years, then you can do the exponential growth of the idea, because then it's not a typical thing or a crazy guy. No, it's normal. So we all start doing the things like that.
You need a period to get it proven. So you need a period
of, and then you need. So it's not need the money you need in the beginning and the help. It's like a start engine, and it's not forever, because one time the child will go walk and they walk
from you.
Yeah. So it's in nature. It's the nature, and you see all the changes in the past. It's the same thing, and now, but we are now. It's profitable right now. We can do it. We have the technology, we have the money, and the urgency. It's there. It's so. Let's do it. And then like exponential. That's like we from a horse to a car. It took about 12 years.
12 and a half. Yeah.
12 and a half.
1900, 1912 and a half.
Yeah, so that's 100 years ago. So we can speed up, but we need to do it for real, in the real time, with real people, with the real money. And you have to do the project, and then you see it. Okay, you can do it again, and then it's blowing.
Yeah. Sven, does it help that we have no turning back point? Because we can't go back to the world we lived in, because it's finished.
Perhaps it does, but I think essentially it's about recognizing the work and the type of people that Willem has been doing. He's been proving it, but he's also, you don't see it at him, but it's extraordinary what they're doing. It's really extraordinary. But also at Kirsten, at your organization, there's extraordinary people who are doing in entrepreneurial
but like
extraordinary things.
We want extraordinary things to be normal.
We want 1,000 times Willem. We want 1,000 times Kirsten.
In about 10 years, Willem is just a normal guy.
Sad for Willem, but good for us.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
And Felipe, who you saw. So this is what we can do, and 1,500 people might be a good start to say we are going to support you to really support you and to recognize you for what you're doing.
And that's very good to state right here. We're going to support you. Let's go to Kate. Kate, are you still with us?
Of course I'm still with you.
Good. Can you stay with us forever?
Yeah, until it's done, until the job's done. We're all here, right?
That point is taken. We're going towards a after Corona economy. I hate the word, but it's going to happen eventually. What do we need to get to 2040 and beyond to double nature in your perspective?
Well, I was fascinated by what Willem was saying about we understand ecosystems, we know how to restore them, we know how to regenerate them. As he said, what we need are the investors and the companies that actually are in service to this. And so I want to pick up on that point. I think we need to transform the design of our economies, right? Economists love to say, oh, there are economic laws, the laws of supply and demand, the laws of diminishing returns. Nonsense. These aren't laws. The laws we face are the laws of thermodynamics, the laws of our planetary home. That's the smart place to start with the laws, and then create economics and economic systems that are compatible with the conditions of life. So we need to create enterprises that are actually fit for being in service to life. And I have a little signboard here I'd like to share with you. I invite you to think of any company you know, one that you think is regenerative, one that you think is degenerative, one that you love or you hate. And we can ask ourselves, is that company fit for the 21st century? It needs to be designed with these 5 design traits in line. So first of all, what is the purpose of that enterprise? Is it serving itself or is it in service to life?
Right.
Some companies say, well, our purpose is to regenerate the land. Our purpose is to create health. That's why we exist. We just decided to be a company because that's a really effective vehicle for making this transformation happen. So first, you need a regenerative purpose. Second, you need networks. Who are your customers and do they share your values? Who are your suppliers and are you sharing your values with them? Which lobby relationships do you need to get out of? Which networks do you want to be part of? Who will hold you to your values when times get tough? How is the company governed? Who has voice? What are the rules, the principles, the practices, and the metrics by which we measure success? These are the easy ones. Now let's go down to the really deep stuff. How is the company owned?
Right.
Because whether a company is owned by its founding entrepreneur, by venture capital, by its employees, by the state, by the stock market, by shareholders, by a family, all of these very different ownership designs have a profound influence on what sits at the bottom of the table. It's bottom because it lies deepest. Finance and what finance is demanding, and whether the finance that's investing in your enterprise is saying, well, I'm here for the highest, fastest return you can give me, obviously. And if you can't deliver, I'm out. Or is the finance in your company saying, like you, I'm investing because I'm committing to social and ecological transformation.
Yeah.
I want to see those returns. I love Willem saying the first return we give is a return of inspiration.
Yeah.
We want long-term investors who say we're here for the long term. We want a fair financial return. And what's fair is a big question. But we need finance aligned to the purpose. So for me, these are the design traits of 21st century enterprises that are actually can be in service to the kind of transformation that regenerative economics can bring about.
Yeah, it's very clear what you're saying. And you can see that lockdown periods make you very productive at home. So I want to advise everybody that's still in lockdown to make your own little Christmas tree at home and see the signs and know what it's all about. So thank you very much for telling it. It's rather clear, Ruud.
Did you know that a shareholder on the stock market only owns the share 23 seconds? 23 seconds, you're a shareholder in a company right now on the stock market. You know that's over. That's ridiculous. You cannot explain that to the children. No. It's unbelievable. So stop with the bullshit there. And the real finance is there.
You can
long term
even say it's disgusting.
Oh, it's better.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
We don't like that anymore.
We don't like that anymore.
We want something new and something good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I
think we have to. Everybody's watching for 75 minutes almost, and they want to see the film. But we first have to start. We have to launch a club. So, what is your plan, Sven?
Yes. Well, first, I'm want to say I'm really very grateful to all people who supported this from the very first hour. So I would like to put up an applause or anything if you want it. Yeah,
it's a bit cheesy to applaud with 5 people.
Thank you.
Oh, at home as well. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
The audience.
Yeah.
Really. and also the existing club members are making this possible for the others. So also thank you for that. And I really wanna Ruud, what do you think? Are we going to show the show the film? Show the movie?
Show the film and
okay. There's one thing. We
introduce the
one,
film.
One club member named Jeppe van Pruisen, who chipped in with his time and his passion and talent to make a short film about the concept of
and it's his specialty. He makes videos about all kinds of really meaningful stuff. And as a present for you and for all of us, he made a little video.
We want to give it as a present to the world.
Yeah, and everybody can watch it. Let's see it.
By now, we all have a clear vision of what impact climate change has on our planet. Pushed by the Paris Agreement, the energy transition is here to stay. But even in the best case scenario, we still have an abundance of 1,500 gigaton of CO2. It took us humans 150 years to release it, and we need to take it out as soon as possible. 1,500 gigaton is difficult to imagine, but what about this? That's the same amount as is already stored by all plants and trees on Earth right now, on land and in the oceans. Oh, and did we forget to tell? That's because nature grows from CO2. So the challenge is clear. To clean up 1,500 gigaton, we only have to double nature. True, that sure is a huge challenge, but it can still be done, and often it's even a viable business case. And people like challenges, right? This one is energizing, that's a promise. The fact is, it must be done. And the good news is, it's already happening. Let's double nature.
That's fantastic, is it?
Yeah.
Must be done, and it's already happening.
Jeppe
and
van
here's
Pruisen.
Gwen with the champagne.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ruud, will you open the bottle?
Will you do the honors?
Yes, great. Oh, it's a big one.
It's a real big one.
Okay.
How are you going to open it?
Yeah, I have something from the wood.
Wow.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. So, let's make this club, this movie, this new world a reality.
I'm going away.
Yeah! So it's always a bit strange to drink champagne on television, but we're going to do it anyway.
You can get out your glasses at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody
I see some people.
get something to toast with us. Glasses ready at home?
Yes.
Can you show me? Oh, that's granini as well. Fantastic. So there's a glass. Please pass it on, because there's a film waiting for us.
A bit shaken.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me say just to thank Jeppe van Pruisen and
Jeppe.
Cullen, who did the voiceover for the film. Really wonderful work. Thank you so much. And also I want to thank the team who worked on this club launch, because Harm, you said we're not going to do thank yous. Well, I'm going to thank the team. There's like the maximum people we were allowed to have in this room right now in the studio. Thank you all the people in the studio. Linda, Charlotte, Roos up there. I'm not going to name everyone. I will forget someone.
And thank you to the whole industry for ruining the planet so we can restore it. Might be good too.
Thank you.
So, at home and everybody here, cheers. Let's double nature.
And enjoy the movie.
Yeah, enjoy the movie. You group over there so we can make a picture. Some final remarks. When you're already a club member, you're going to get the link and you can watch the film. If not, you can quickly become a club member and watch the film. If you don't want to do that right now, you can just buy a small ticket and watch the film anyway. And after the film, you want to become a club member anyway. So why not become a member now? And it's cheaper. So do that. Thanks for being here. And, realize at least once a day, we're going to make a better world together because we have to. Crisis or no crisis. See you next time. Let's get over there. Group picture.
1.5 meter group picture.
1.5 meter group picture.
Hey, Harm. Thank you, Harm.
Cheers. You're welcome. Cheers.
Linda.
At home, cheers.
Crew.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
It's Prosecco.